Editor's note, guys, I realized that my microphone was actually not working for the first part of this video, so I apologize. It's going to be a very noisy video. I'm so sorry about the background noise you're going to have. I hope it's not going to be too bad, but so sorry about that, guys. I hope you can bear with me with the extra noise. I don't really film in a loud location, but very frustrated that happened. But yes, the rest of the review, I should say, will have proper audio, but apologies to those of you who are gonna have to deal with all that excessive noise for the first half of the video, and I appreciate your understanding. I'm sorry. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Wheel of Time. We're now into episode 4 of season 2, which is called, give me a second, Daughter of the Night. So the last episode was really focused mostly on Nynaeve, I would say. She did her trial of the arches, and it was harrowing, it was emotional, and we got to get a lot more insight into her character and kind of what makes her tick. But in the end, even though she didn't do it quite the way everybody else does, she did manage to get out of the arches and survive it. But we see that we ended the episode with her being very traumatized, very emotionally distraught. We also see that Matt is now out of the known custody of the Red Aes Sedai, and he's on the road with Ming. Right now, he says he doesn't know where he's going, but I believe that Ming is going to try to lead him someplace or try to get him to help the situation of getting herself and the Red Aes Sedai out from under the thumb of Moiraine, because apparently Moiraine, of course, has secrets on both of them. And we know that Lan and Moiraine have separated ways. He's on his way back to the White Tower, and she's decided to go off on her own to look for Rand. And Rand set the entire Poor People's Village on fire. Because that's what you do when you're supposed to be laying low in a village. You set everything on fire. And finally, we had Perrin, who had been captured by the people of the sea, but on his way to being transported someplace, we see that his new possible friend, and possibly fellow pack member, managed to help him escape. But we also noticed that the Dark One let him go. It wasn't a matter of he was there in the carriage with him, and we know that he's powerful enough to have stopped either the other wolf guy, or just he could have taken Perrin out immediately. But we now know that he's got a vested interest in watching what happens with Perrin. So I hope Perrin starts to take that to mind and into heart now when he goes to wherever it is that his new little wolf friend is taking him. So pieces on the chessboard are still moving. Very interested to see what's going to happen next. So we're going to jump into this episode. But right before I do, just a reminder that if you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions to shows like this here. And if you are interested in watching me go through this journey or any of the other ones, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you'll know when I upload. And if you like this video, I would love it so much if you threw some love to the like button as well. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. Please become a subby if you haven't already. We'd love to have you. Okay, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Wherever we're at, it's tall. But the bigger question is, why is he here and why is he alone? Oh no, is he releasing more of his friends? Because didn't they say that the Dark One has a number of friends? That looks like a seal. That's not good. Interesting color to the weaves. Great. Yep. Dark army forming. What do you look like, friend? Or foe?
Blood cools blood.
Okay. I guess they're friends? To me, I would just be like, just take a little kerchief, put that in between the hands, because, I don't know where that blood's been, who it belongs to. I mean, ancient diseases existed. Well, you're never getting that shirt off without help. Okay, that was the lady from the party who was hitting on Rand. Oh, what a hard life, going from bed to the couch. Not gonna lie, kind of jealous. Okay, she's into art, or she's the artiste, one or the other.
There's someone at the door.
It's early for a visitor.
Oh, because you're so busy.
It's your older sister.
Oh. Oh, you guys get along clearly.
Just,
Why is their servant Father Time? Oh! Oh!
You look well, little sister.
Damn, how old is Moiraine?
To be honest, bring up a girl down in red from the salad.
yes, my lady.
And I need a dress.
It's been decades, Marie.
Right? You're just gonna start barking orders? You can at least pretend that you're not the older sister for a second.
There's someone I need to meet this morning.
Rude. But clearly she does not want to get into the whole, so I don't technically have my powers anymore. I'm technically not Aes Sedai anymore. Yes, clean up the mess you made, Rand.
For me, I can't charge you room and board anymore.
It's the least I can do.
Yeah, true.
My family had a cabin up Nickinson's dagger.
Sure.
You want to come?
Oh, he does, but... Oh, you mean to the cabin.
I like good company right now.
Oh my gosh, like you guys actually talk about anything meaningful. His mind is telling him no, but his body... Oh, how you doing there, Nynaeve? Yeah, I hope they don't ask you to do anything for at least a month. Not a dish, not stir one pot. Oh, she's not ready to wear the ring even though she earned it. Oh, I like the cuffs on the dress.
How are you doing?
Terrible, thanks for asking.
How does it feel?
Oh,
I should go. I'm here if you need anything.
I feel like she's trying to emotionally detach now that she's lost everything.
None of it was real.
But it felt real. And that's the crazy thing about our imaginations. It can make anything feel like it was real. And you have a hard time determining between what was and what wasn't real. Okay, Lance just gonna chill for a little while. I don't blame him. So does his hair have to stay down now because he's not technically a warder or an acting warder? But I didn't think that had anything to do with being a warder. That had more to do with his culture, right?
If anyone says anything about the salt, I'll set you on fire.
Ooh, that's the way you start a meal. Can a man pee in peace?
So we're gonna skip all of that. I don't think you're gonna kill yourself. So have you decided what you're going to do now?
Talk to him straight.
Nynaeve is going into the archers. I suspect it's only a matter of time until she's looking for a water herself.
Really? Just dropping that coincidentally.
I'm not looking to repeat my failures.
It's a little soon. A little soon. You know, when someone gets divorced, they're usually not ready to get married right away, you know? Ooh, nope, she's in her old room. Very old, judging by the dust. She's like, damn, I look good for a 100-year-old. Is that her mother? And her? Her sister and her? She is really in her antisocial phase, huh?
I'd like some time alone with your woman. You know the one.
Do you think Logain will be able to sense that she no longer has her weaves?
You started training him yet?
Who?
Randall Thor.
You took everything from me.
Blah, blah, wah, wah. She didn't take your life.
Guns are just strings for a bottle of wine.
No.
Your poor ego.
Really one.
Where's he staying?
He's staying at me.
It's like a drug.
The Foregate, the Crescent.
Oh, he does know.
You will teach him everything you know about Channel. Everything. However long it takes. I'll leave the knife with him.
Those are deep ass pockets. I don't need to give me a dress like that.
No matter how much I want to help, I can't seem to say or do the right thing.
Then stop trying.
Yeah, it's not about you, hun. You just gotta let her come to you.
Fix it. She was there for me last year when I lost someone I love more than anything. And I want to be I should be the same for her.
Well, you are, but you just may not need to give her the same kind of care she gave you. But one thing about caregivers, they typically are the hardest people to care for.
You must be Nynaeve Almera, aren't you?
I'm just looking for Maxim and Ivan.
You're away with... Did you really channel in the Archers?
She sure did.
I mean, you have years to choose. I just hope it's not red.
Smart. That also felt very foreboding considering what happened in the Arches.
The Western Shore is under attack and you're not sending any sisters to deal with it. The West is always under attack, usually from itself.
Oh, not this time though.
Is the Amelin aware? Of course.
What is the Amelin? Don't you have somewhere to be adding another braid to your hair?
If she falls, you'll fall with her.
Is that a threat? Oh, the infighting, so unnecessary. You guys have bigger problems. But I suppose this whole situation is what's gonna make them actually come together. It's really sad that that happens, right? How like so many, like the Aes Sedai should really be a unit, but they've all kind of politically divided over time, and it's just like it's gonna take all of this to make them work together again the way they're supposed to.
You sure we're even going the right way?
Wolves don't get lost.
Very
You're the
true.
one leading us, not them.
Are we?
I am them. So are you.
Mm-hmm. And you know that, deep down.
What's our way?
Wolf brother, they call us.
Okay. Got a name?
What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
Am I going to change into...
That was stupid.
Oh my god.
How did you...
There's nothing wrong with being a werewolf. Okay, we've got Patronuses all of a sudden.
It's our language.
James Potter.
Did the wolves warn you those warriors were coming for us? Is that why you didn't stay in the village? You could have warned us.
Would you have listened?
You could have had time to eat.
Yeah. He's like, anyways, I'm hungry. But no, lost my appetite. Yeah, I'm with him. Let's cook it up. Let's give it a little bit of little char.
He likes you.
Aw, he's very likable.
What's his name?
We'll show you when he's ready.
Oh,
We're lucky we were there to save you and that girl from the White Cloaks.
he was there.
Shit. You've been sending us images for months now.
Oh, look at you subconsciously crying for help.
You'll see her when you sleep.
Interesting. He's like, could you stop dreaming about her? It's pretty traumatic. We're just trying to get some sleep.
We don't go near women who can challenge.
Why not?
I said I don't trust what they don't understand.
That's true. I think Moiraine might be the exception, but yeah, they haven't shown themselves to be very accepting up till now. He's like, are you seeing this? It's just, am I high? Okay, just me.
Papa. That's his name.
Close enough.
That's cute. I like that he has a little puppy friend. Please save the puppies and the horses. So it's the poem. Do we get to know it still no? Okay.
Moraine's left the barn last. The last 6 months or so.
I thought I was the only boy who could get it on.
Interesting.
The three of us talked it through and we decided that she must come on with me. Except in battle. In bed.
Too much info.
I know the others will tell you you can't go back to Moraine. But I prove that you can. If you want to.
Interesting. I mean, as much as I would love for him to be with Nynaeve, it's a different type of relationship. Him and Moiraine is, that bond is so much more than just, obviously, Aes Sedai and Warder. So he's not going to be able to just walk away from that and bond with another and act like it didn't happen. And 20 years is a crazy long time to be with anyone. That's effectively a marriage. You are in the most conspicuous dress ever, just so you know. You're in the poor part of town looking rich as hell.
Things burn in the foregates all the time, my lady. Shame I didn't take the buildings around.
It was a boy's
Wow, let us know how you really feel. Snob.
That gets attention.
Oh my God, you followed her like the puppy you are. Man, that guy's really led around by his little one, huh?
Did your family know that coming?
I was lying.
Is it wood so I can burn it down too?
He was the first man I ever loved.
Oh my God, I don't care about your love life, madam, respectfully.
Up here. Well, it looks like it still fits together.
Detachment, like it.
Like it.
No one and nothing ever gives you what you want.
It's true.
If you want something,
You gotta get it yourself.
take it.
Yep. That is true. That's true facts. In this world, you can't expect other things to make you happy. You gotta take that into your own control. If you expect other people to do it or the world to do it for you, you will never be happy. Oh, how romantic. Could someone just he'd survive it. Look at Matt, back to familiar surroundings. Oh, baby girl, I know. She wants her life back, her mystical life back.
Was any of it real?
In a sense.
Who did you lose inside?
I thought my pain was my own.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to just forget her and everything that happened in there.
Probably
I was in
not.
there for years. I've kept my son a secret for 80 years now, right?
Well, bonding
I
indeed.
told myself the three oaks bind us to speak the truth to others, not ourselves. I could
Mmm.
have hidden him anywhere,
That's deep.
but I kept him here in Tarpon. I kept him here for me,
Yep.
because I was afraid.
Of?
I couldn't risk losing the only thing in this world that's ever been truly mine.
There you go.
The one power slows down our aging, and we have to sit and watch the people we love pass by instead.
That is the downside of long life.
You can see why they don't let you take choices.
Right? It's like you're not making me feel better at all. This is the worst pep talk ever. But yeah, Nynaeve kind of likes that. She's not a soft words kind of girl.
I'm going to tell you something now, but I want you to give me your word. You won't do anything rash.
Hmm?
A group of Shinaran soldiers a long way from home. Travelling within a gear. And a blacksmith from the Two Rivers.
Don't do anything rash with that, huh? Yeah, I guess you wanted to do something on your own, but you made that pretty clear from when you visited the chicken in the Amelin's room. Okay, we can see who's actually good at meditating here. Land's killing it. So's Pink Shirt. Mm-hmm.
You lasted 10 minutes this time.
It's not for everyone.
It's something she said. You keep saying it to yourself over and over.
Yep, we were never equals.
1,000 cuts for her one.
Oh, I love that line. 1,000 cuts for that one. That is how it is when someone you care about says something really hurtful to you.
She never considered me an equal.
Mm-hmm. That was the gut punch. Not you mocking his pain.
What about Moraine? What does she want?
Yep. Have you asked yourself that? You've only been thinking about you. To be fair.
Maybe that's the problem. I don't think I know anymore.
I don't know if you've ever known Lan, truly. And that's fine. She didn't really want you to know, but a lot of what he's going through right now is because he wanted things to be a certain way. You went through Lan's stuff! Bunch of lying, sneaking. That's not a happy look. She looks sick to her stomach. Interestingly, Moraine hasn't even missed that poem since it went missing. Oh, talk to your sister. Come on. She's old. She doesn't have much time. Oh, you're stubborn. Oh, she came to you this time.
But I didn't want to miss you.
Smart girl.
Not what a woman should have to do. To talk to the sister she spent half her life idolizing.
Period. A little respect.
Apologize. In truth, you did nothing I wouldn't have if I could have channeled. Right moves, I tried. The nights when I found after Uncle ruined us. But she left.
What?
Always felt that hope that one day
You can't just drop that.
you had your work and I had mine. Less important, certainly, but no less demanding. Unless the tower also taught you how to smile after someone spits in your eye, or how to beg a neighbour's housemaid for a party's leftovers. But I got on with my work, just as you did with yours.
Damn, let her know.
Now, and nobody will ever spit on House Damodred again.
Do what you do. Do what you need to do within the space you have.
Thank you, Marie. Somehow, finally, I don't care what you think.
Good for you.
Here, because you will not endanger what I've worked all my life to build.
Let her know. You come in here,
This is not your house,
not even so much as a hello.
and I'm not your little sister anymore. All the eyes and ears you had here, they're mine now.
Oh?
The guard you held at the gate someday.
Oh?
If you want to know where that red-headed boy may in, you're going to have to ask me.
That's right. I'm sorry, Maureen. I'm not mad at this because you came in with a lot of presumption, girl. And you clearly underestimated your sister. Have some tea. Maybe if you'd had a little more humility coming in, she wouldn't have to play like this, but you kind of pushed her hand.
Give us a moment.
Oh,
This is my room.
I said what I said.
And my glass I need to wash.
Good for you. I'm glad you recognize the hierarchy here.
I'm accepted. I can leave the town whenever I want, but if they catch you, I'll expel you.
You think I care about that?
You do.
If I'd have been ready at the eye of the world, I could have fought alongside Rand.
You couldn't have.
I'm never going to fail any of you like that ever again.
Okay, that's a resolve. Why do I feel like the redhead's gonna follow you? These clothes are far too white for a secret mission. Told you.
Follow me. Go back right now and keep your mouth shut or your heart.
Blast you into that wall.
The entrance die.
She's doing exactly what she wanted you to do.
You are a complication. Yeah, I'm sorry for this.
Damn. She only wanted Nynaeve. I think she knew Nynaeve was gonna tell Egwene though. She wants these kids. She wants to know what's so special about them, I think. Because now she wants to, there'll be 3 of them out of the tower.
The customers are waiting.
Oh, is this a memory? Yeah, look at the camera work. Damn, did they force her to use her power back in the day? That sucks. Oh, that's horrible. People probably think it's all fun and games knowing the future, huh?
It's wonderful, isn't it? Seeing nothing.
This is you. I keep forgetting that the Dark One can get into people's heads.
Some things the dark is long place to turn.
The deal's off. I won't.
The deal.
I won't let you hurt Matt.
You might. You came here to get instructions for where you're to take him next.
Interesting. She's a double agent.
Bring him to Tyrien.
Interesting. Bring him to Matt, or bring him to Rand. So that's what brings about the stabbing, I'm assuming. Rand's gonna be like, hey buddy, what's up? And he's gonna be like, dark knife to the gut. Really, in the bushes? I hope you all have ants in very, very uncomfortable places. Has that been there the whole time? And if so, why the hell are you outside? Also, if I were you, I wouldn't sleep so close to fire knowing how your powers like to just go a little willy-nilly on their own. Oh, a king's ransom to stop doing all these night shoots. My God, it's so dark. No, no thank you. No thank you. How did she hear that of all things and he didn't? I don't trust her. Just back up a little more, Rand. I'm sorry, but not really though. Why does it seem like she can see the weaves?
should have told you. I thought I could stop this.
Just turn on.
I should have told you.
She don't care.
What kind of an accident?
I haven't come back.
I don't know about that.
Well, you know me, right?
Oh. Girl, don't even act like you're not into it. You see how she doesn't run away? She'll be back in your bed by nightfall, boy. She's like, I'm just playing the pause. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be all over you again.
They say when men go mad, they kill people they love first.
Oh, you love her. Oh. Oh, she's like, all I heard was that you love me.
Love me.
See? Forget the fact that you go mad, that there's murder involved, but did you say you love me? Oh my God. Like, can we go back to that? Can we circle back?
You are the first woman who's ever seen me as a man.
Really?
I didn't want you to see me as a monster.
You didn't think Egwene saw, okay. Told you she was into it. I don't even know why she pretended she was shocked.
I did that once. Turned my soul to him like a mirror, reflecting only what he wanted to see. Leaving the rest of me in doubt. You need to give some chance to love one of you. They might not.
Oh, you're finally deciding to take it indoors. Thank you. Wildlife don't need to see that stuff.
The seal is broken. She's in our wheelchair.
Ah, she. Okay. I assumed it was a dude, but...
But new lover she sees, who shall serve her and die.
Ah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
who shall stand against her coming?
So that fade was just her friend.
Shining walls shall be.
You see? You see how men will let their little ones get them into trouble? You see the way it'll lead them into darkness? Boy's brain stopped working years ago.
There's something you should know, Ran.
I'm evil.
What's happening?
She's taking my true form. Don't worry about it. Okay, Moira, but really? Mid-coitus? It's not.
Lying to you. But I never can.
Remember that. Sitting there, sleeping with evil his whole time. Not gonna miss you, by the way. You were annoying. Why does she look like she's smiling? Ah, that would be why. She's not gone. She's like, oh, things were just starting to get hot. You know, if you wanted part of this threesome, you just had to ask more, right? Oh, things are getting messy. Things are getting messy. Okay, so that really threw my mind a bit for a loop on the timelines. Because the seal breaking we just saw this episode, but if that was her, then she's been around since, well, yeah. Yeah, we have to remember that the first seal was broken months ago, so it looks like bearded dude went straight to wherever the second seal was on this chick, let her out and said, hey, follow him. That must have been it. Damn. That's crazy, but I had a feeling, like I said, I got the feeling she was way too chill with the way that Rand was acting, and especially the whole thing where she said, I'm not scared, let it out or whatever. I'm like, that's not normal. You don't just say that to somebody randomly. Like that's, you're down with some stuff. You know some stuff, and now we know what said stuff is. She's like, yep, need you to come to the dark side, and I'm gonna try to encourage you through sex because clearly you don't use this very much. All right, guys, well, that was episode 4 of season 2, and very interesting places. I mean, this was definitely, I don't know, I guess this is a bit more about Moiraine, if we had a focal point, but we kind of touched on everybody with the exception of Matt. Well, no, we saw a little of Matt, but I see like it's still minimal. Matt's been minimal this whole season so far, actually, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if towards the tail end we're going to get more of him, but once again, very little of him. And I'm just going to go through character by character as I normally do because it's the easiest way, I feel like, because we jump around a lot in the episodes. So with, yeah, Matt, he and Ming are still just traveling. They seem to be at an inn somewhere. He's very much in an environment that we saw him in back in season 1, you know, gambling in a tavern. You know, even when he was trying to make some money there for a while, like he definitely is an environment he feels comfortable in. And even though he's been locked up for all these months and he knows so much craziness is going on, the fact that he keeps going back to these places and doing these things that he always does is very interesting. He is not someone who likes to face things clearly. He's someone who likes to bury his head in what's uncomfortable and kind of turn a blind eye. But anyhow, we see that Ming is still basically leading him along. Like, he thinks that things are very random right now, but she very much is taking him on a very specific trip. And we learned that Ming is not just working for, or seemingly working for, the Red Aes Sedai. She's also working for the Dark Guy. She's a double agent right now. So I don't know who she made that deal with first. I'm assuming it was the Dark Guy first. But she is working with the Red Aes Sedai because she's saying, I want you to take these visions away from me. And seeing that flashback she had, which I don't know if she was having it or if the Dark One induced it, but either way, I guess probably the Dark One inducing it. I guess it's good incentive for her to stay with the plan. But yeah, it looks like her family used her when she was young, used her ability to make money, and unfortunately it was traumatizing, very traumatizing for her, because I'm assuming that not all of the futures she saw were horrible, but who wants to look at a child and who's asking you what's going to happen in the future and you see their last days? Like, that's horrible. Who wants to see it as a child too? Like, it's crazy. And I really like that they're showing that, you know, a lot of people would think being able to see the future would be a good thing, but everything has a cost. You know, not everything has a good, everything has a good and a bad side. And the bad side for this is pretty huge. It's pretty traumatic, especially if she was being exploited for it and she just wanted to live a normal life or just be able to step back from such horrific visions. And it's understandable that she wants to lift this burden from herself and would be desperate to do that because, again, exploited by what I'm assuming is her family because they look like her. But then I'm thinking, as she went through life, anyone who finds out what she can do, they just continue to exploit her. Moiraine exploited her. The Red Aes Sedai exploiting her, right? So she just wants to get rid of this thing because she's thinking, if I get rid of it, people will stop using me and I can just live my life. So understandable she'd be desperate. But yeah, very interesting development that she's working both sides. And it's, you know, of course, the Red Aes Sedai thinks that she's taking Matt where she wants her to go, but really it's the Dark One saying, bring him to where Rand is. So, or like where Rand is currently. But anyways, so that is interesting. So my guess is, you know, she foresaw Matt stabbing Rand. So I'm thinking that is basically what is, you know, she's leading him to happen. But interesting that she said, I won't let anything happen to Matt, which I think was a very specific choice of words, because we saw last season that she had a little bit more of a reason to be connected to Rand, but she spent time with Matt. It's fair. She's developing an attachment, but also I don't think she ever wanted her powers to hurt anybody. So it's very understandable that she's not liking where this goes, but hey, you can't make a deal with people who are called the Dark Ones and think that things are going to go well for you. Yeah, a little bit of information there about Ming, and so we'll have to see how she is able to traverse that, because I don't know if there's very much she can do about it at this point, because whatever deal she made with this guy, you saw she tried to get up from that virtual place they were in. He sat her down like he daughtered her real quick, like, I'm in charge here. So we'll see. I feel like if there's anyone who can break it, though, it would have to be a Rand or possibly a Nynaeve, you know, might have the power to actually break her of this deal. But as far as taking her power away, I guess it'd be like being stilled, right? She'd have to be stilled in order to be away from her power, because it's a form of channeling. I'm assuming her vision's just different. But anyway, moving on to Lan. Lan was also a bit of a focal point in this episode. He and the Green Aes Sedai and the boys, they decided to take a little pit stop before heading back to the tower for a few days, kind of letting him decompress, I guess, and deal with his emotions. And he is, you know, clearly not doing all right. He's still upset about the separation between him and Moiraine, but he doesn't really know what he wants to do next. And of course they say, hey, we're going to the tower, are you going to come? And he's like, I really don't know. Because he knows if he goes back to the tower, he's going to have to eventually bond with another Aes Sedai. But it's very understandable that he's not ready to do that yet. And like I said, it's him and Moiraine, their relationship, they made it very clear in season 1 and even in the few episodes here in season 2, that their connection is so much deeper than what this standard bond is. And I mean, considering that they've never had a romantic relationship either, it genuinely is like a family slash best friend type of vibe that they've got going on. And so for him, the idea of even trying to create something similar to that, similar to that with somebody else, especially after 20 years, knowing that she's still out there, like that's just really, really a lot to take. And I understand why he's just not sure of where to go next. And I really like the conversation he ended up having with the one warder where he's like, what is it? Like, I know there's something that's bothering you. Something she said that, what did he say? It was one thing that's, or one word that's giving 1,000 cuts, something like that. But very accurate description. And then of course he brings up the equals statement. And I really like that metaphor because it's so true that, you know, as I said in the last episode, that, you know, physical wounds, they definitely hurt us. But nothing hurts deeper than mental and emotional wounds. Like, those are the ones that really cripple us. And it usually is when someone close to us says something to us that's hurtful, that will stay with us for life. Like, even if you do forgive them, it's something you never forget. And it is something that for a lot of us, you know, it just takes someone like a parent or a trusted person or a loved one saying something to us that speaks to an insecurity we have, and it will stay with us and just continue, like, we'll repeat it like a broken record in our heads, and it'll continue to hurt us. Every time we think about it, it hurts us, and we grow it, we sensationalize it, we make it worse. It's like this insidious thing that just keeps hurting us. And I really like that he brought that out and said, like, that's what's going on with you right now. And, you know, the warder had his own perspective on it. He basically said, look, we're not equals. Like, we don't walk the same path. They're in a completely different world than us. So maybe you were a little bit naive in thinking that you were. But I think that their relationship and what Lan was referring to is it's more layered than just, you know, their social rank or the dynamics of their actual partnership. I think he was thinking about, like, as humans, as people, as friends, I thought we were equals, and now I believe she's saying that we're not. And so that would be very hurtful because, again, we know that Lan very much values their connection and values their friendship. So that would be the hurtful thing there. Like, basically, I think he's taking it like, we were never that close and you never considered me to be a true friend, a true person who shares a bond with you the way that I do. So yeah, in the end, he's gonna have to figure out, like, I like that they ended that conversation with the warder asking him, do you know, what does Moiraine want? Like, what does she really want? And Lan couldn't really answer that question. Like, he's saying, like, now I don't know. But truthfully, I think it's fair to say he probably never really thought deeply about what Moiraine wanted, like, on a personal level, right? Because for him, you know, of course, through their bond, he would have understood certain things that she wanted to do, especially when it was related to work. But I really don't think that he knows what Moiraine wants on a personal level or what emotionally drives her or any of the things, because we found out that she has shielded him from their connection many, 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 many times. With that in mind, it just really, I think, changes so much about, like, the way he has to think about their connection and think about the relationship going forward. And, you know, again, we heard the warder also say that, hey, you know, I don't think that your bond is gone forever. Like, I really do think that there's a way to create it again if you really want it, or if Moiraine really wants it. So basically, don't give up hope, because as I said in the episode, I don't think Lan's going to be able to walk away from that connection. Or if it happens, it's gonna take a lot more time than a few days. But we saw that they kind of wrapped up that arc with one of the warders going through Lan's stuff and finding that prophecy that he was keeping hidden that, of course, he stole from Moiraine. And now they know about the fact that another one of the Dark One's army has been released. And yeah, I guess they're still deciding exactly what it is they're going to do with that information. So moving on from there, I guess that dovetails nicely into Moiraine. So Moiraine has gone back to her home, or at least one of her homes, I suppose. We discovered that the lady that we saw at the last episode who was at the party with Rand is actually Moiraine's little sister. We're getting more and more ideas of just how old some of these Aes Sedai actually are, because it really wasn't touched on much in the first season. But I think we can safely assume that Moiraine is knocking on 100's door, if not older. But anyways, she went back to her home, and she basically kind of walked in like she owned the place and started barking out orders. Like, she barely let her sister get out a hello before she's like, great, I'll be taking my own room. I need some clothes. I need this. It's like, ma'am, you don't live here. What? Excuse me? I mean, I know this is your baby sister and all, but you don't live here. And anyways, her sister was kind of like, well, can you sit down? Can we have a tea? Can we have a conversation? Can you acknowledge my existence before you jump into work mode? And she, you know, we said that Moiraine is not giving her the time of day. And I think that there's a few reasons why she's doing this. It's not just to be a jerk, but we already know that Moiraine has a lot on her mind, clearly trying to distract herself from the fact that she doesn't have her power anymore. She knows that there's a clock going on, right? To get to Rand, to try to get to him before the Dark One does. But also, if we're being real, there's also, I feel like, a degree of separation she's trying to keep here with her sister. I mean, there's clearly some history there, which they touched on, but I also just feel like after everything that's happened to her, she kind of tries to keep people at arm's length, even if they are family. And her coming in the way that she did, especially after, I think, just, after everything that happened with Lan and her cutting off that tie, it's kind of like seeing a family member was just like, no, I can't even deal with this right now. But anyway, through that visit, we see her sister kind of stays out of her way for the first couple of days, but then eventually I love that move where, you see Moiraine having a moment where she's like, I should probably go and talk to her, but nah, I'm not gonna. She goes to her room, her sister is like waiting for her, and I was like, that's a boss move. And she's like, no, you're going to acknowledge me now, because I know if I wait for you to come to me, I will leave this earth before you do that. So we see that once again, Moiraine tries to kind of just brush her off, and her sister's like, okay, I gotta lay the gauntlet down. I gotta let you know what's up, because you are not seeing me. You're really not seeing me. And I love that she laid it out like, okay, you know what? I'm not that little girl you left years ago. I am a grown woman. Look at the wrinkles on my face. I'm an old woman with gray hair. I've earned these years, and you left. And of course, we see Moraine's defenses go up immediately, which whenever that happens, there's guilt. There is a sense of guilt. And clearly Moiraine has thought about how she left her sister and probably has some guilt around it. But the fact that she'd quickly be like, nope, I still would have left. I won't apologize for leaving. I don't regret it. I'm a nice to die. I can't lie. And her sister's like, yeah, I know. Like, I pretty much figured if you've been gone for, I think we can estimate over 50 plus years, you don't regret it. You didn't look back. However, I need to let you know that while you were off saving the world and doing your grandiose things, I also had to live my life, and I had to pick up the pieces that you left behind, because you had the gift of channeling and you had a way to uplift yourself and leave. I didn't have that. And then she said a line that was pretty huge where she said, after Uncle ruined us, I had to find a way back. Now, ruined can mean a lot of things. It's a very nebulous term. I don't know if that just means that he ruined the reputation of their family, because I didn't hear any talk of parents. I didn't see any pictures of parents. So I don't know what happened to their parents. Maybe they died young and the uncle took over or something, but it could be that, or it could be something a little bit more sinister, which I'm hoping is not the truth. But my guess is I'm gonna go with the lighter part of that maybe he just destroyed the family's reputation and possibly left them with nothing financially. That's what I'm inferring, because we heard the sister say, you didn't have to go through basically having people literally spit in your eye and having to beg them for food, beg them for all the basic things just to survive, because you were sitting in the tower living pretty. And of course, we know the tower wasn't exactly a picnic either, but comparatively, Moiraine didn't have to go around begging on her hands and knees to people who hated her. And you saw the look on Moraine's face. She clearly felt bad about that. I think to some degree, she probably knew she left her sister in a very precarious place, but I'm assuming it was one of those things where Moiraine was like, I can't save us both, so I gotta save myself, which is a hard and horrible choice for a kid to make, but we gotta do what we gotta do. But digressing, her sister's like, I had to do all those things, but I don't care. She's like, that to me is the past. This house I'm in now, the way I'm living, she's like, my son is marrying the queen, which is a huge piece of information. She's like, I made that happen. I made that happen so nobody else would ever be able to look down on me or look down on our name ever again. And that includes you, my dear, like you sweeping in here, acting like you're the bee's knees, forgetting about the fact that this is my house and that you have not lived here for a long time. You walked away from everything. I have earned this house now. I am the mistress of this domain, not you, right? So let's just make sure you understand and give the respect where respect is due. She's like, I'm not your little sister anymore. Ain't nothing little about me. Grown ass woman, grandma age, and you coming in here trying to daughter me in my own house. So, I had to respect it. I was like, I see where Moiraine gets it from. Strong-willed women in this family. I love it. So she said, no, that's not going to happen. I own. She's like, all your little eyes and ears you thought you had around here, they belong to me now. I own them. Anything you think you know right now, I knew it first. You know what you know because I'm allowing you to know it. And so you saw the realization spread across Moiraine's face. I think it was a mixture of admiration and a little bit of damn it, it had to be this way, right? And I love it. I really like that she did it because, as I said, unfortunately, as much as I love Moiraine, she did not come with the right energy at all. And her sister did give her ample opportunities to just sit down and have a mutually respective conversation with her. But Moiraine was a little bit on that high horse stuff, and her sister needed to knock her down a few pegs. And again, imagine if her sister knew that she couldn't even channel anymore, right? So anyways, I like that conversation a lot. Again, it gave us a lot of insight into Moraine's background, but also sadly this very, I'd say, sad dynamic between her and her sister, because basically her sister's like, okay, I tried to be sisters with you and you made it clear you're not looking for that, so we're going to keep it on business terms then. You want to know where Rand is? You're going to have to come through me. You're going to have to talk to me. You're going to have to address me and acknowledge me and not just treat me like I'm one of your minions at the tower. So I liked it. Moiraine sometimes needs a little reminder that yes, she's been living in this society that's allowed her to kind of be above everyone else, but she never really was. This is family beyond all else, but she should also have given her sister at least that respect. Like, have a meal with her, have a glass of tea. Like, you don't have to be acting like you're so much more important than anything your sister wants. Now, of course, I am keeping in mind that obviously Moiraine is looking at the hierarchy of what's going on as a whole. The world's at stake, and I understand that those are time sensitive, but again, if the world could potentially end, is not exactly when you should be taking time to talk to your loved ones, what little time you've got left with them. So anyways, that was a really interesting scene, great scene played by both of them, and the dynamic there, as I said, gave us a little insight into why Moiraine is the way she is too, and why she has some of these walls up between herself and so many other people. And I mean, that kind of feeds into as well, I forgot that the Green Aes Sedai also told Lan that something happened to Moiraine, and after it happened, she became a different person. Like she said, it was like seeing water turn to ice. So typically when something like that happens, it's a deep trauma, and I'm not sure if that's tied to the uncle or what, but anyways, seeing the way her sister is now, it's very understandable that this is kind of the way these girls handle these crazy situations. They kind of just have to toughen up and move forward. And it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's also very sad that this is what their relationship has been reduced to, because Moiraine has just cut off all of her emotional connections in some fashion with just about everybody. So anyway, clearly her sister gives the information that she needs about Rand, because Moiraine spent a lot of this episode just looking for Rand and kind of trying to trace the steps from the information she was able to get to figure out where he was. And of course, that explains why her sister was interested in him at the dinner party yesterday, because I just thought maybe she thought he was cute, but clearly it was deeper than that. Anyways, that kind of feeds into Rand. We see that, that since he burnt down the inn for the most part, the girl, I'm just going to call her that. She don't need a name. The girl's like, hey, I'm going to go up into the woods. You want to come with me because I can't stay here for now. And Rand decides to go with her because he has no willpower. And they have a conversation about being away from the world. And she talks all about her first love. And, the description feels very much like a dark one. It sounds like an evil man if you're really going to be 100 about it. But it makes sense because she kept saying that Rand reminded her of her first love. And yeah, these hints are, these types of conversational pieces are not dropped for nothing. So clearly she's saying, yeah, I was with the Dark One, super powerful channeler. That's you too. But Rand thinks she's just reminiscing. And he basically says that, he never wanted to leave his little mountaintop farm. He would have still been there today. That's the life he wanted. And he just wants to pretend the world's not broken, AKA put his head in the sand. And we've seen that, right? That's what he's trying to do with his powers right now, is put his head in the sand, and it's, clearly not working. And we see the situation ends up happening there where a Fade finds him. The Fade wouldn't have hurt him, of course, but it forces him to channel, which I think is exactly why the Fade was there. I have no doubt that either she or the other dude with the beard sent the Fade there for that reason. But Rand ends up using his channeling on purpose this time and destroys this guy with ease. And then, of course, we see our girl feigning surprise and doing such a good job. She really just gave, she worked for her Emmy. And then, of course, after Rand does this whole, oh, it's okay if you don't love me anymore because I just figure you wouldn't love me because I'm not normal. It's okay. I'm just glad we had Paris, and then walks away or whatever. But unsurprisingly, she's like, oh, no, it's fine. You're not a monster. I want you to love you for who you really are. She's trying to speak to those insecurities that Rand has, which I think is good to know, because, I'm going hard on Rand, I know, in the episodes, guys, but please know this is all in jest. His character is very interesting to me. Right now, he's going through a phase that is very annoying for many characters, where he's still trying to figure out where he is and what he wants. But obviously, this showed a little bit of an insecurity that he has around that's his biggest fears, one of his biggest fears around channeling, right? Outside of the fact that channelers go mad when they're men, he's scared that everyone's going to look at him like he's a monster, including the people he loves, hence why he's run screaming away from them. So the fact that she brought up the fact that I can love you for all your sides and who you are, and I want you to be who you are and embrace this thing that you are, that's something that he really wants to hear. And he's really scared he's not going to hear that from the people he's known his whole life, because just like them, he grew up hearing that men channelers are bad, naughty, right? Plus, his ex is literally studying to become an Aes Sedai whose sole job is to take out people like him. So it's understandable that these are real fears of his, and we see that this woman's kind of talking to them and massaging them and giving him what he needs to hear. And of course, it doesn't hurt that he, she's also satisfying his carnal needs on top of it. So we see that she, after this conversation, she's about to reveal to him what she is. And I love that, the line she uses is, I'm a monster too. But before she can go full form, I guess, and you see that Rand is just starting to see that something is up, because again, he can't see what she's weaving, but he can feel that something's not right. And thankfully, Moiraine comes at the last minute and slits this chick's throat and gets her off him to buy them some time. And she's like, we gotta go. Of course, Rand, still having no blood in his brain, is like, you killed her. Why would you do that? And she's like, girl, why would I? You really think I care about who you sleep with? Like, you think that I came in here because I'm mad that you're getting late? Sir, use your brain. And so she explains, no, this is one of the Dark One's army members, man. You've been sleeping with the enemy, quite literally. Let's get up out of here because she's not dead. Let's go. And so when she says the Aes Sedai line about I can't lie, he finally is like, oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't lie about that. So they take off, but we see that Sis is definitely not gone. She's just mad now, right? Moiraine has managed to make an enemy of 2 of these people now. Not just 1, 2 of the Dark One's army now are annoyed with Moiraine, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So moving on to Perrin. Perrin is with the wolf guy. The wolf guy basically says to him, finally tells him what he is. He is a wolf brother. We have a term now. And he's like, well, what does that mean? And of course, the dude's like, what else do you need to know? Well, you're a wolf brother. He also explains that apparently he will not be shape-shifting into a wolf. No werewolf this season, damn it. He basically is like, yeah, you've been this for a long time, and we've been watching you for a while. And that's the part that kind of threw him off. Like, what? He's like, no. He's like, we've been watching you, and we're the ones who rescued you from those weird cult people from last season. It was us who showed up. And here, the way it looked last season, it looked like maybe he had called them. And I guess in a way he did, but they're not really his pack. I thought maybe it was his pack, but it was actually this guy's pack. But we find out that these wolves can actually send, and these wolf brothers can send messages to each other via visions. And apparently Perrin has been sending visions to anyone who'd listen, I guess, really. And these guys basically picked up on it. And apparently he was sending the visions of all of his trauma and of his late wife and everything. And basically the dude's like, we just basically kind of came to you because maybe we're sick and tired of seeing your trauma. Just kidding. But yeah, no, they said we realized you're out there. And I guess after watching him, our dreaded bro here recognized that Perrin clearly has no idea what he's doing or what he is. So we see that Perrin basically says, well, why didn't you come and talk to me? Like, after you rescued us, and why didn't you come by? And he basically said, we don't do channelers. We don't hang out with them because the Aes Sedai don't like things they don't understand. And it's good. It looks like now Perrin and this guy are going to basically kind of exchange knowledge, and Perrin can learn more about what it is he is and maybe start to get a little bit more control over what he's doing, and also find out more of what he can do. So I'm excited about that. I want to learn more about him, and I like seeing this through Perrin's eyes, but also getting to learn through Perrin's experience. Then I guess back at the tower, we've got Nynaeve. There was very little Egwene. There's not much to talk about there outside of the fact that she's upset that Nynaeve's kind of shutting her out right now. But much like with Moiraine's situation, this episode 1, she's just got to wait till Nynaeve's ready. Even though I know she's coming from a good place, when someone has gone through something, especially a trauma, you basically have to let them be ready to talk to you and deal with you when they're ready. Just because you want to help doesn't mean that they're ready to accept your help. So that's what Egwene has got to learn, and she's kind of trying to digest that, but it's not easy for her because, like she said, I just really want to show her the same kindness that she did to me when she lost Rand. So anyways, we see that Nynaeve is not dealing well with being out of the Arches. I don't know how much, I think it's only been a day or 2, I think, that's passed since she went through the trial, but she's clearly still processing her trauma. She's still mourning the loss of her phantom family. And we see eventually that the Red Aes Sedai comes to her and is like, okay, well, what went on in there. Who'd you lose? Because clearly you're grieving. And she tells her, like, my daughter, I lost my daughter in there. And I like that she's very smart. Nynaeve did not say anything about Lan or the rest. She just kept it to the daughter. And I think that was smart because of all people, we know that the Red would not care about her losing Lan. But anyway, we see there that the Red Aes Sedai actually has a sharing moment with her. And she basically explains that, like, you know, one of the benefits of being Aes Sedai and having this channeling is, yes, we live longer, but the dark side is that we have to watch people we love who don't have this access to the one power die over and over and over again. She's kind of just saying that, like, if anyone understands what it is to lose a child, potentially it's me. And it's, you know, something they can bond over. And I mean, it's a soft moment. So it's nice to see that the Red has more than just anger and rage all the time. And anyways, after that, we see that she shares with her about the report that she received, basically saying that the western border is under attack and that they're taking prisoners. And then we find out later on that it's also put in the report that Perrin and Loyal and the Sheeran were all captured as well. So her silly little, oh, don't do anything rash, but let me tell you something that's totally gonna make you do something rash. You're not slick, sis. We see you. But anyway, so unsurprisingly, Nynaeve's like, I'm not sitting up in this tower, you know, trying to make clean water out of chicken juice when my friends are potentially getting murdered, so I'm out. And of course, that's exactly what the Red wanted. But we see, of course, I think she knew that Nynaeve would go and tell Egwene because they're close. What they didn't anticipate, though, was that Elaine would be following, because Elaine is like obsessed with these, well, particularly with Egwene, but she's obsessed with these two now. So of course she follows them and she's like, what's going on? Why are you leaving? You can't leave me. We see that the Red is like, yeah, no, I accounted for you two. You're a problem because you're royalty and I can't be having you get hurt. So she uses the one power, knocks them all out. My guess is that she's planning on doing something with Elaine, like maybe, I mean, because what I'm thinking is, like, the tower's obviously going to notice that they're all gone, but I don't know. My guess is maybe she's just going to do something to keep Elaine quiet long enough for them to get gone. Or maybe I feel like, you know, maybe Elaine's going to go too. I don't know. I don't think they would go through all this trouble of bringing Elaine in so much in these last couple episodes just to have her sit out this new adventure. But hey, why not, right? Elaine's been talking about how boring her life is and how she has no control over her future. So yeah, it definitely lends itself to the idea that Elaine's going to be joining this trip. But again, then why would the Red knock them all out? That's the question. That would mean now that she's going to have Mat, Egwene, and Nynaeve all outside of the tower. So I think she's very curious to figure out what it is about these three. Like, I think she knows she has to get them out from under the eye of the tower to figure out what it is that's so special about them. This is the information that Moiraine would not share with her about these kids. Well, we'll have to wait to next episode to see, because that's how we ended. We ended with them being knocked out. A lot in this episode. We actually got a lot of exposition once again. Not a ton of action, but that's okay. We're moving our characters forward. We're understanding a lot more about them as well, so we can understand a lot more of their motivations and the decisions that I think they're inevitably going to have to make. And I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it was a good episode. Definitely enjoyed it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and we will see you in the next video.